Welcome. Welcome, you fools. To the fact that now you can see everything, because fuck it. Welcome. Welcome to the scuffed stream of the day. With me, your host, Setsuna Fox, as we dive in to the scuffness that is my mind. That is not truthfully too scuffed, but I do have a bunch of stuff and cords everywhere that are just getting all over the place. So yeah. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, have to get settled and keyboard ready. Because today we are doing some story creation. And by story creation, we're going to be building the foundation and building blocks to the story that I would like to try to work on. Again, this is just the first step, first part. Mainly, again, just getting together the characters, as many as we can, get them detailed, and build off them. And then, of course, we'll have, terminologies and other random things and phrases thrown in and built up. And I forgot to grab my water. As you can see, I am completely prepared for this stream, with little to no scuff needed. Little to no scuff at all for anything, and this light over here to help me see better, even though I don't technically think I need it, but I'm gonna put it on anyways because I am crazy and I just really want to make sure that you all have a fun stream. Because yes, again, this is story, character creation, and building, terms, characters, before we actually touch into the actual story, because, well, we need all of that. And yes, I am doing a bunch of other things as I'm trying to do this because I'm a stickler for stupidity, I guess. Yeah, you can see me trying to download the update for Dead by Daylight on Steam. That's only because I just want to make sure it's downloaded, even though I've never played the game and may one day play it. But even if I don't, I just want to make it. So yeah, so we're waiting for that to finish. I did start on this a couple of days ago for the main part, just because I really wanted. Just because I was having a rough moment with my work life, and this calmed me down and pretty much just let me do what I want. Yeah, I did work on 3 characters, and I did get some base terminology for the different races currently, and some types of magic, which I'm probably going to change a few of the magic types just because. Because why the fudge not? It's my story, and I can make it be as crazy, zany, and dumb as I want it to be. So yeah, put that in a pipe and smoke it. Cause I'd be interested to see what that would taste like. But yeah, we're just gonna be doing. Sorry. More tired than I thought I was. Again. But yeah, we're gonna be doing story writing again, character creation in general, terms, world building, etc., etc. Before we actually dive into the story, because I think this will help flesh out some of the parts that I need to build up to. It'll help me fill in characters without having to go, okay, so this is what this character could look like. Makes it just a little easier in the long run for me. I don't know if other artists do this, other writers do it, but hey, I am not a smart, bright person. So Yeah. I am in no way a smart or bright person at all. So yeah. But yeah, I am a little tired only because of work. I was actually contemplating on not streaming today, but sorry, another yawn. I'll get better once I get into it. I'll I won't I won't be feeling as tired. Yeah, right now basic story structure and the characters. You know, the main character's best friend, and the heroine slash female love interest. And that's really all I have for the characters. And then I have some terminology, which is just mainly the races, some of the races, and the types of magic. Because again, that's what I was working on the day before. And yeah, I don't know what else to really is to say about that. So we're gonna build off this. First off, we're gonna remove this. We're gonna remove lightning magic. And we're gonna put blood magic. Why would you remove lightning? Well, because lightning is a combination magic in this universe that I thought of just recently. Because why the fuck not? I could easily just change it to make the 72 types of elemental magic. That'll really fuck with people. Which actually, I actually think I'm gonna do because that coincides with another idea I have in my head. 72 types of primordial. Holy shit, I spelled it right. Magic. The 72 types of primordial magic. Which means I can now bullshit my way through almost anything. When it comes to magic, it's like, oh, that's just a skill tree from the magic class. Let's see. I wanted to go with fuck, what was the name of it? Oh, not the name of it. Uh, I may be silent for a lot of this, so be aware. Be aware, I'm not trying to ignore you guys. Just trying to come to conclusions with my thoughts and brain. And also save on saliva, because I'm lazy enough that I don't want to try to go get some water. Even though I should. Because, yeah. I am that kind of streamer. I'm that kind of person, truthfully. If I'm lazy, I don't want to get up and get it. Even though I should, because it is definitely good for me. This chair is evil to me. Ow. Bit my lip. Okay. So we want it to be the 72 types of primordial magic. Basic building blocks created. The basic foundation of all magic that was created by the 72, not 77S, the 72 gods of the realms. That's pretty simple and understandable. Each magic is divided into tiers ranging from common, from Kuman magic, Kuman, ranging from Kuman magic, common, shut up, common, adeptus, We'll say adept. Master. Sage. Common, adept, master, sage. That's 4. Yeah, we'll just do master, sage, and god. So the 5 tiers are common, adept, master, sage, and god. It's like, that's just a giant step, and it's like, well, fuck you. That's the step I'm taking. That is the step I'm willing to take for all of you. I think that's pretty easily enough. The basic foundation of all magic was created by the 72 gods of the realms. And each magic magic type is divided into tiers ranging from common, adept, master, sage, and god. Hey, that works, right? Alright, now we're going to work on a race, which... Oh, thank God I know how to spell. Hey, Beelzebub, welcome. You missed it. I did all of this writing in the span of 14 minutes. You believe me, right? No, I'm kidding. Most of the stuff I worked on the other day. Most of the 3 characters I did, and then everything up to the everything up to the magic. So yeah, this world and this story has 72 types of magic. So now I can just bullshit my way into everything. You verped? Why would you verp? What does it even mean?
Your boy Beelzebub says doing Fox Mummy lore?
No, we're actually doing story lore for an actual, novel I would like to write in the future. Now we have the 3 main, the main character cast for right now. I don't have anybody else. Is vomit and burp. Why would you do that though? And then we have currently some of the terminology, basically the descriptions for the character, the races, and some magic. We're working on another race right now. Ate food too quick. Oh, why would you do that in the first place? That's still bad. Hey, Gander, welcome. I am out of water, okay? I am too lazy to go get some. Alright, I'll go get some water. I'll be right back. I gotta figure a way to push my chair out because I move further out. Stop throwing things at me! It really sucks when you have a chair that doesn't like to scoot out on yourself. I'll be right back. Oh, I forgot to put music on. Hold on. Where is it? There it is. You know, if it's too loud, I'm trying not to make it too loud. So I'll be right back. Stop it! Move it! Okay, I'm back. And I have water now. Are you happy? Okay. Yeah, let me know if the music is too loud. Or if you can even hear it. Mainly because I just want to have some music while we do this. Unfortunately, it's not music I'd prefer, but you know. DMCA as it is, I can't do much about it. Especially for YouTube. Yeah, so we're working on a new race right now. Well, not a new race, but the next race in the story, which is the lycanthrope, which most people know is like a form of werewolf that can transform. I think it's they can transform at will. Either way, that's what they're going to be able to do in this story. So they are a humanoid, not humanoid type race with a canine wolf-like features. Humanoid type race with world-like features, wolf-like features, such as fangs, ears, and a tail. I do like to write. I used to write a lot when I was in high school on my my last year. And like I do have a lot of ideas and I do kind of like want to do something with it. It's just I have a very bad attention span on top of the desire that I can't get it done because I think I'm a failure type thing. So I just really want to do this just because I like it. And I've always liked it. I don't really do it as often because I'm lazy. Like I'm truly lazy. And a lot of instances, as you guys probably have seen time and time again. And it's the same with like Blender. Like the book I wrote, Froze It, discontinued in short. I may never even finish the thing, but I still would like to, you know, put my idea to paper, put my idea to written language, because I want to do that. And I know I'm no professional in any form or fashion, but again, I like doing it. I like putting my ideas in and, you know, creating the scenarios. And even though I'm a terrible person at creating scenarios, but I'm gonna do it anyways. So fuck it. And who knows? We can maybe make this into a fucking board game instead. Who freaking knows? I don't know. Somebody else knows more than I do. But yeah, so here we are. The lycanthrope, a humanoid type race with wolf-like features, such as fangs, ears, and a tail. Now what else was I going to write? That is the question, because now I'm confused. I am confused. What should we write now? What should we add to the world of the winds that carry beneath my feet onto this paper that is not really paper but a digital computer? You know what? I'm just gonna end with that. Ears and a tail. Let's see. They also have the ability to transform. I was quacked at. Transform and or morph. I always get there and there. Is it there like E-R-E? There is an E-I-R. Ah, fuck it. Well, no, because it's there is the possessive term because it is their form. from their human form to morph from human form to their wolf form. That makes more sense. And switch between them at will. Because they do. They have the ability to transform from human to wolf at will with really no problem. Of course, their clothes, sadly, do not agree with them. The clothes don't agree. Let's see. So they can transform at will. The features they have. We have goblins and Vulpin can both. The Vulpin can, yeah. Humanity. Oh, the types of magic they can use. Let's see. We have 72 types of magic. Oh, fuck it. I did explain, like, on all the other races. Like, humans can use any of the elemental types, but they can only use a single type. Panthera can use wind and nature magic. Vulpin can learn any of the 72 types of magic, but only the true Empress is able to use all 72. I didn't think that part through. All 72. Only a true Empress is able to use all 72 at once. May you ask? Go ahead. Like, I always want people to ask questions, even if I don't have an answer to it. Of course. I can't guarantee you'll be like a main character, but I wouldn't mind putting some friends in there. You know, like references and stuff like that. Kind of like Easter eggs, if you know what I mean. I'm always down to throw in Easter eggs and, you know, little toss-outs and stuff like that. It's always fun. You could be you could be a random adventurer that gives them some knowledge. Right now we're on the main everything else. Alright, so let's see. They would be able to use blood magic, because that's transformation. Well, transformation magic, truthfully. They... Lycanthropes can use transformation magic. Naturally, along with penchant for blood magic. Because, fuck it. I don't know what else to add. Because transformation magic makes sense. They can transform. It's a natural thing they can do. So they can actually naturally learn other types of transformation magic. Kind of like a druid. Just not a druid. And of course blood magic, because fuck it, they're fucking wolves. They can do shit. I don't know, fuck it. Break the rules of your own story. That's what I always say. Now for the breeding. You thought we were gonna skip that? Oh fuck no. We're gonna go detailed into that. I mean, just look at my Vulpin. The Vulpin and the goblins. Vulpin can breed with humans and themselves, but are one of the two races that can be pregnant multiple times at once, meaning you can knock them up multiple times. I learned this from somebody else, and I decided to implement it into it as well. Just not as funny. And goblins are the same, except they can breed with everybody like humans, but they can also be pregnant multiple times at once, because fuck it, they're goblins. We're going fantasy shit with this. We're gonna break the mold. Of course, Panthera can only breed with their own kind. You know, it makes sense because you can't have every race be able to knock up every other race. That'd be boring. You want to make races like not be able to have kids and stuff. You want to like do all sorts of stuff. You want to make it to where the head cannon that you think can be broken by a twig and a 2x4 named Steven. Don't ask me why Steven's in there. He's just in there. He's in there to be the 2x4 of destiny that just really makes you wonder what the fuck you're doing with your life. And you don't even know what you're doing with your life because it's Steven. And he's weird, but we love him anyways. Alright, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races so far. We still have the elves, the rabbit people, and the centaurs. So 5, 6, 7. So that's 8 races. I have to make it to where they can only breed with humans and themselves. Granted, I wouldn't mind seeing a centaur and a lycanthrope. That'd be funny. Considering they are human, they'd be able to breed with... Well, male centaurs are like actual centaurs in this universe. Females, on the other hand, are like human centaurs. They're more human than they are horse. They have elves. Elves make sense. Okay, so humans, they are able to breed with humans with themselves, humans, goblins, because goblins are able to breed with everybody, because they're goblins. Fuck it. Goblins have just the same right as every other fictional species in the world. Humans, goblins, and elves. We'll keep the centaurs to themselves and the humans and goblins. Elves will be kind of like the lycanthropes. Yeah, elves and lycanthropes would kind of be the same in the breeding terms. Humans, goblins, elves, and themselves. So that's 4 out of 8 races. Centaurs would be humans and themselves. And you know, human goblin and the lapin or lupin. Isn't it lapin? Fuck, what's the freaking word for okay, that's not the word I was looking for. Ah, it is lapin. I just don't remember the actual meaning behind it. And are able to conceive. They're like wolves. They're like wolves and animals where they can conceive multiple times. We'll go 4 to 6 children per birth. Would that make any? You know, that'll be okay for now. It's kind of like, yeah, so I did the same thing for Panthera. Panthera can give kind of the same, where they have 3 to 4. But lycanthropes can have 4 to 6, because I don't math right. Alright, so we have the lycanthrope. Let's do Lapin next, the bunny people. We all gotta have a bunny. We all gotta have bunny people. If there's no bunny people, it's boring. I will have to change the Panthera Beastman and only and one of 2 races fully covered in fur, because the Lapin would be the only other race covered in fur completely. Lycanthropes will only have fur, you know, when they're transformed. Otherwise, it's just normal basic hair, I guess. A bipedal humanoid race of bunny-like, not lickle, like people. Piapple. God, I am not able to spell. That are also the second race to be completely covered in fur. Foot. Completely covered in foot. They are the foot people. They have retained their basically ancestors. Honey-like faces. Retained most of their ancestors' bunny-like facial structure. I am more surprised I spelled structure correctly. But have also inherited the long ears and a puffy tail. Or not puffy, and a very small tail. Although I can spell structured correctly, but I can't spell inherited. Screw you, brain. Screw you, brain. You're the evilness in me. Now here comes the fun part. Every Lapin has is identical in their fur patterns, but have differing shades of color, but the fur can be of differing colors. So every single one of them has the exact same fur pattern. No matter what race, no matter what child, no matter what father, parent, doesn't matter, they're all the same. Of course, their fur pattern is different. So, have fun with that. Because I wanted to make that simple. Unlike the Panthera, who literally never look the same. Like, no two Panthera will ever be the same, which makes them very easy to differentiate. Like the patterns, their fur, like nothing of Panthera is the same. Lapin, you know, all of their fur patterns are identical, no matter who, but the fur color is different, so. Some massive variety in there. Now for breeding. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't do this for the others. The average lifespan of a Lapin is... Let me rephrase that. The Lapin's average lifespan is only about 35 to 40 years. So they have the shortest lifespan in the story because they breed like rabbits, quite literally. They can breed with humans, elves, goblins, and themselves. And have a very short birth cycle? Birth cycle. Hold on, let's go back. Themselves. They have a very short birth cycle. Oh, it's both pregnancy cycle. There we go. For pregnancy cycle. And give birth to between 8 and 13 offspring. I am not joking. Because of their very short lifespan, they make up for it with the fact that they can literally produce like rabbits. I actually don't know how many rabbits are birthed per, you know, rabbit birthing, but you get what I mean. Lapins are naturally gifted, naturally able to use water, lightning, and light magic. They're the only race that can use 3 types of magic at birth, basically. Alright, so that's the Lapin! Yay! I know, I had to kind of give them some extra details, which also wouldn't hurt to give the others. Which we'll do right now. An average lycanthrope lifespan is about 70 to 100 years. Goblins. Goblins, goblins, goblins. Gobblehiggins. Goblins. Average lifespan is between 50 to... I know. Between 100, 100 and... Nope. 200 years old. Those are goblins. They seem small, but they are naturally resilient to dying. Average male open lifespan is about 120 years, while the female open can live upwards of 300. Yeah. I am going there on the lifespan for Vulpin. Thera can live for an average lifespan of about 127 years. We'll get them more down to like science. Humans average lifespan. Human average lifespan and go between 50. Remember to spell correctly. 50 and 100. 100 plus. You know, they're people. They're no special race. They're not able to do things that others can. All right. We have the lycanthropes, the lapin, the goblin, the vulpin, the panthera, and the humans. That's 6 out of the 8, plus the one more I gotta add. The next is elves. Elves have 3 distinct clans among their race. Those being the light elves, the dark elves, and light, dark, and light, dark, and light, dark, and nature. Light elves are naturally. The light elves are not are, have naturally pale skin and an extreme aptitude to light magic. I love how I can't spell correctly. Dark elves have dark reddish. Yeah. Have dark reddish skin. Naturally pale skin. And blonde hair. Pale skin. Pale skin. Blonde hair. And you're treated about to do light magic. Dark elves have dark reddish skin. Black hair. And in affinity. Dark magic. I know, it's pretty basic for them being used to like dark magic, light magic, and nature magic, but fuck it. That makes more sense than anything else. Of course, each of these affinities can be broken down to other types. Nature elves have greenish skin. Greenish skin. Brown hair. And in affinity to nature magic. I forgot to add the eye colors. Blonde hair. Blonde hair and brown eyes. And extreme altitude magic, dark skin, black hair, and red eyes. And I gotta add another detail to the elves before I forget. Before we do that, let's add the eye color to the nature elves, which is blue. And of course, the last detail will be antlers sprouting from their head. Antlers instead of horns. Yes, all elves in this story have horns. Brown eyes. A single horn sprouting from their forehead. Black hair, red eyes, and pair of horns sprouting from sprouting from their head. Sprouting from their head. Okay, so yeah. Light elves are naturally pale skin, blonde hair, brown eyes, a single horn sprouting from their forehead, and an extreme aptitude to light magic. Dark elves have dark reddish skin, black hair, red eyes, and a pair of horns sprouting from their head, and an affinity to dark magic. And nature elves have greenish skin, brown hair, blue eyes, antlers instead of horns sprouting from their head, and an affinity to nature magic. Now here comes the fun part. All elves Why? Is it scary? Is that scary? All elves, no matter what clan they are from, all look identical except for their clans' skin, eye, and skin, eye, and hair color, along with their horns. Incidental, no. Identical. Yeah. So all elves, regardless of their race, regardless of the clan that they're from, you know, light elf, dark elf, nature elf, they all physically look the same. They all have the...
my curiosity, but now you have my erection.
Aw, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, all elves, regardless of their race, all look physically the same, aside from, you know, skin color, hair color, eye color, and the horns that they have. So physically, they're all the same. They all physically look identical. They all have basically the exact same face. They just look different based on their clan's birth. You know, each of them naturally can use those types of magic, but I won't bog them down by others, like the other races. But with all of that comes the need to breed. A need to breed. So elves are able to breed with themselves, because I don't care if that makes sense. If it's not needed to be said, it's going to be said anyways. Humans, goblins, and did I say lycanthropes? Humans, elves, goblins, and themselves. Humans, goblins, and elves, or no, did I? Elves, humans, goblins, and elves. Oh, so shit. Elvenussy? Yeah, the Elvenussy. Okay, so lycanthropes can humans, goblins, elves, and themselves. Lapin are able to breed humans, elves, goblins, and themselves. Humans, elves, goblins. Okay, so humans, goblins, lycanthropes, lapin, and elves are all able to breed with each other. That makes sense. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. themselves, humans, goblins, lycanthropes, and Lapin. Nice. I probably won't be able to get it for quite a while because I'm currently broke and I need to save my money. And can save twins and can only conceive twins. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Lapin. You can breed with humans, elves, goblins, and themselves. Oh, so lycanthrope. Okay, so lycanthropes can't breed with Lapin. Okay. Okay, that's why. Aw, thank you. I like being told I'm squishy. I'm gonna have to get like a breeding chart made. Just like one of those family trees, but instead of like a family tree, it just shows who can breed with who. Okay, so Lapin can breed with everybody. Lycanthropes can only breed... No, sorry. Lapin can't breed with elves. Okay. Lapin can breed with elves. Oh, Lapin can't... Okay, never mind. I'm stupid. So, elves can breed with elves, Lapin, lycanthropes, and humans, and goblins. But lycanthropes can't breed with Lapin. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Lapin can only give birth to twins. Or sorry, elves can only give birth to twins. Which means every elf born has a sister or a brother. Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Alright, so we have the elves, the Lapin, the lycanthrope. So human, Panthera, Vulpin, Goblin, lycanthrope, Lapin, elves. That leaves one last race, which is the centaurs. And yes, we are going the biblical route for centaurs. At least for the men. At least for the men. Male and female. Centaurs are both warriors. Are trained. Trained. From birth to be warriors in similar style to the Panthera. Male centaurs are half human. Hauled. Why do I keep doing hauled? Half human. Half horse. While the female centaur is more human than a horse. Let's specify half human, half horse, with the bottom half being horse-like. Female centaurs are more human, but retain the horns and horse-like legs. So basically, they're more human, like legitimately just mainly human females with, you know, centaur horns, and, you know, majority of their leg is mainly like horse-like. They basically have hooves for legs instead of feet. They have hooves for feet. If you'd like to, go right ahead. I don't ever want to try to force myself in somebody else's book, which is why I never usually ask. I do this for the Panthera. Centaur are the only race considered to be let's change that. Centaur are well versed Centaur hierarchy. I even come close to spelling that right. I did. I just put the I before the E, or the E before the I. Is mainly male. Is a patriarchy. But the female centaurs, if I can spell these things correctly, are the ones who travel, wander the world, while the males stay in the homeland. Basically, the female centaurs do like a pilgrimage of sorts, where they travel the world, take the world, and then return home. Basically, kind of like Quarians from Mass Effect. Where, Quarian will leave their flotilla and travel and then return home with, the knowledge and so forth. So that's what the female centaurs basically do in this world. But their hierarchy is mainly male-centered, where the males are mainly in control. They're one of the only pilgrimage. Basically, it's what, like, a pilgrimage, if you don't know, it's usually like a religious practice where they travel to other parts of the world, shrines and religious areas, and pray to them, or I don't know exactly what they would do, but they travel to other parts of the world, traveling to further their understanding of their religion. If I'm not mistaken, I don't claim to be a natural or understand all that much about religions and pilgrimages. I just kind of know what I know from movies and stuff. Pretty much they're religious travelers, but in this sense they're just trying to further their understanding of the world. They're not really religious in the sense for the centaurs, is what I mean. In this version of a pilgrimage, centaurs are capable of learning any of the 72 types of magic, but normally settle on fire and conjuration. Yay, I spelled that correctly. Whoop-de-doo freaking me. So see, centaurs can only breed with humans and themselves. Because humans can breed with everybody. Humans can fuck everybody. As well as goblins. Goblins and humans can fuck everybody. A centaur is able to breed with themselves and humans, but can only birth a single offspring in their extended birthing cycle, which I'll put in parentheses is 2 years. This of course only mainly applies to female centaurs for this specific setting. For this specific setting, female centaurs are only able to give birth once every 2 years because their birthing cycle is so long. Don't ask me why I'm doing that, because fuck it. Natural law goes out the window. This is mythical beyond mythical. You know, like humans, they can fuck everybody. You know, they have an average lifespan. They can have one type of element. Panthera, you know, they're able to breed their own kind, and it's common to have 3 to 4 children. So, you know, their birth cycle can be anything. But it also can mean that, you know, their partner can be, have more. Male centaurs, usually when they reproduce with humans, it's more or less a human child born, while, you know, female centaurs will usually give birth to, you know, a centaur. We won't get into the specifics of that because it's going to make my own brain hurt because I'm stupid. But we need to add one more race. Dragon. Which we all saw coming. If you didn't see this coming, I'm sorry. A mythical race of beings. Dragons! Beings that came from a distant star across the great from a distant land. Yeah, that sounds better. Across a starry ocean. They are large, they are varying sizes, from Panthera all the way to rephrase that. Every dragon classified as one of 3 types, being either a lesser dragon, great dragon, or elder. Each one has differing sizes. You know, like a lesser dragon can be anywhere between like a human size or, you know, big building. Great dragon would be like, you know, the ones you usually see, the giant dragons, a couple stories tall, literally can lay waste to armies. And then the elder dragons, which are literally the apocalyptic inferno of fuck with it and find out. They're the ones that, you know, are basically living mountains. Which, oddly enough, I've already planned for one of them to literally be a mountain. And that it's literally slept so long that it is basically a mountain. And for comparison to this, the planet itself in this series, in this story, is freaking huge. Pocket Dragon is the best dragon. Technically, there are going to be dragons that size, but we won't go into that. But welcome. Yeah, basically, later on in the story, I have one dragon that literally has slept for so long that it is literally formed into a living mountain. Of course, at the time, nobody knows it's a dragon, so that'll happen one day. But basically, for comparison, you know, to Earth, relative to Earth's size, it is basically the size in the story. This planet is basically the size of our sun. It is a massive planet. Technically, they have two forms, human form and dragon form. I'll explain that as we go into the description of this, but no, they're like literal dragon that slept in their dragon form that, you know, the Earth took over and created a mountain out of them. But it also depends on the dragon if they want to have boobs or not. Because again, they have transformation magic. They can make themselves whatever they want to be. Every dragon, every dragon has the ability to use transformation. I forgot the S. Transformation magic. Along with and the ability to breathe any element transformation magic along with any element of their choosing. Pretty much, it's just like, oh man, it's the Himalayas, the largest mountain in the world. Yeah, did you know it's a dragon? Wait, what? Each dragon of greater each dragon ranked great or elder has the ability to take on a human appearance and are gender fluid. Meaning the dragon can be a male or a female whenever the fuck it wants to be. Meaning if you fuck a dragon, you could fuck a dragon. Regardless of your gender. If you want to be a guy, you can fuck a female dragon. If you want to be a girl, you can fuck a male dragon. It don't matter. Dragons don't give a shit. Dragons just want to get laid and collect treasure. 'Cause that's what we do here. That's how we do it in this universe. Dragons can do whatever they want to do. Yeah, you can't. Lesser dragons, on the other hand, like, you know, like dragons that can't really. Dragons that don't have true sentience. They just kind of like basic instinct type dragons. Yeah, they can't do what the great dragons and the elder dragons can. Basically, any dragon that can't speak is just like basic, you know. Technically, dragons don't sweat. We'll just go with that. Yeah, dragons do not sweat, and they don't produce waste like any other species because they are literal gods in human form, basically. Oddly enough, one of the dragons is literally considered a god by literally devouring one of the 72 gods. But we'll get into that later. Yeah, basically, no dragon sweats. They don't produce the same type of they got a human appearance and are gender fluid, meaning they can be whatever they want to be. Because fuck it. A dragon breeds once every 30 years. But depending on they breed once every 30 years and can conceive between 1 and 100 offspring. Female dragons only. And I say female dragons only mainly because if a male dragon knocks up another species, well, they aren't able to have the 100 offspring because their partner isn't physically capable of living through that. A female offspring would not be able to survive giving birth more than one. And they can only mate. Now here's the difference between the goblins. They can only mate with humans and themselves. Goblins are too small. Oh, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Every dragon is fuckable if you're brave enough. True. You can do that in this story. This story is you can do that. The only problem is not all of them are very reciprocative. A dragon's lifespan is 3-fold. Lesser dragons of 100 years Dragon's lifespan is different for each type. The lesser dragons live for about 100 years. And the greater dragons, about 500 years. Elder dragons are the only ones that are considered immortal, in that once they die, they are reincarnated into a new form. With an average lifespan of about 5,000 years. I put the lifespan for the... Oh, I didn't put a lifespan for the centaurs or the elves. Elves' average lifespan is about 1,200 to 2,000 years. This is why elves don't usually breed very often. Centaurs, an average centaur's lifespan is about 90 years. Yeah, to answer your question, Sabaro, lesser dragons can live for about 100 years. Once they die, they die. There's nothing to it. There's nothing special. Greater dragons can live for about 500 years. Similar to lesser dragons, that once they die, they die. Elder dragons, those are the big ones. Those are the ones that are considered to be the ones that first came to the planet. They can live for about 5,000 years. And when they die, they are literally reincarnated into a new form. And to add more to it, there are currently 109 elder dragons on the planet. Boom. So breed the lesser dragons, make more of them, and evolve them. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. Lesser dragons technically aren't capable of common human thought. Is what I mean is that they are literally the lesser. They're basically like worms, drakes, you know, the small fry dragons that you usually use to just kill off because they're just there. I mean, if you want an actual real dragon, lesser dragon is what you want to go for. If you want to do something that's, you know, able to differentiate and think for itself, greater and elder dragons are the only way to go. Yeah, there are 109 elder dragons on the planet. Just think of how many 5,000-year-old dragons there are, which there are a lot of. There are the 9 races of the game, or the story. We have humanity, the Panthera, the Vulpin, Goblin, Lycanthrope, the Lapin, the Elves, the Centaurs, and the Dragons. Those are the races of the series, of the story, and of course we have the 72 types of primordial magic, which are the basic foundation, building blocks of creation, basically. 72 types of magic that formed the world. Each type is... This ain't Monster Energy. Of course, the 72 types are ranged from common, adept, master, sage, and god tier magics. Those are all the characters and the types. All the races, I should say. I'm gonna save real quick before I forget to do something. Now we have the characters, which, isn't super much detailed because I kind of want to be able to confront and form these characters as we go through it. But I'll go off the characters real quick. We have the main character, Zero Lionheart. They're 23 years old, human male yin and half dragon. So wink, wink. There's going to be a lot going on with this character. They are the protagonist. Their goal is to defeat the god of dragons, which again, I did say there was a dragon that literally devoured one of the 72 gods, therefore making themselves a god of dragons. Wink, wink. Of course, the physical description, I went pretty basic. I fucked up the length of that hair, but you know what? Fuck it. They stand at 4'11" or 150 centimeters, with long ankle length snow white hair and crimson red eyes. Has numerous scars across his body and carries a generous double D-sized breast. Any admins? Technically there are. We haven't gotten to that yet in the creation point, because again, this is still just getting the basic foundations. But yeah, for what I have in my brain right now to answer that question is, there are some form of deity that governs the world outside of literally 72 gods. Yeah, there are 72 gods. For any who are confused how a male character has breasts, they are a yin, which I haven't done yet terminology, but I can do that right now, actually. Actually, hold on. So they're a yin. A yin is a human male that develops physically as a female. Literally what they are. There's also a counterpart known as the yang, which are human females who are developed physically as a male. Because fuck it, if we're gonna go that route, we're gonna fuck the world. Yeah, that's why they have breasts, because they are literally feminine. They're literally female, even though physically they are male. And I usually do this in all my stories because fuck it, I want to have a fuda. We're gonna break the world, we're gonna break it my way. So the personality, it's a pretty simple personality. Full of jovial laughs and jokes even in some of the most serious situations, but when needed or calls for it, can be serious. With the need is also a bit lecherous in his desire to find female comfort. So, they're a bit lecherous. They're kind of like, they're kind of like a Moroku in a way. They kind of always want to have the female comfort, but, they're very jokesterish. They don't try to go too far into it. Their occupation is a guild hunter / royal guardian. Later on, they become the guardian / protector of the heroine, which is royalty. It comes swinging. Their background is pretty basic background to give them plenty of room to add more later. It was grown up and raised by his father figure, Bear, since he can remember traveling from village to village. He was an orphan, learning the ways of the sword and what little magic he can learn or understand. He joined the Hunters Guild and has since been taking on jobs with Bear in a village located in the desert mountains. So basically, an orphan taken in by somebody and raised, taught swords, magic, all the other stuff, and are currently resting in a village. Their weapons / powers, they wield a long sword with an extended hilt. So basically it's a very long sword with a pretty long hilt. Not like Sephiroth, because that would be stupid. Like, I'm sorry, that's just so dumb. And can use lightning magic. That is their preferred type of magic to use, is lightning. And some notes about the character, pretty basic notes. Likes to drink chocolate milk, has a fondness for Vulpin females because of how soft their fur is. But also likes goblin females. Of course, he loves all women, truthfully. Like I said, he's lecherous, but he's respectable. That's Zero. That's our main character. Of course, I left Zero stuff kind of vague and like small, so I can really expand on it as we do this story. So we have Bear Lionheart. They are 61 years old and they are a male Panthera. Roles in the story: he is a father figure and friend of Zero. Of course, he basically raised Zero from childhood, so he basically is Zero's father. Goal: help defeat the King of Dragons. Pretty simple. Physical description: standing at 6 foot 2 inches or 188 centimeters, and covered in bluish gray fur with short black hair. Has a fur pattern of black stripes on his outer thighs and shoulders, along with a tail covered in darker blue fur and a black tip. Personality: again, I went pretty basic for the personalities. A true father figure in all his actions, with a serious side and an incredible skill in the kitchen, along with his ability on the battlefield. Much like Zero, he is jovial and a bit of a jokester. And a bit of a joker. He likes to make jokes, but he's a father, so he knows what to do. Of course, his occupation is guild hunter and father. Like, I don't know what else to add to that except for, you know, being a father. And background, pretty simple background. Once a knight, but retired after finding a newborn orphan and decided to raise it as his own. Traveling from village in town across the world, training the child and teaching them the skills to survive. Joined the Hunter Guild and settled down, and for the last 10 years has lived in the village in the mountains. Simple, pretty basic. Now their weapons and powers. To show the case how strong and physically demanding a Panthera is, wields a single Odachi style sword that he uses like a normal sword, because, you know, normally large swords can't be wielded naturally like a normal sword, like a katana or a normal double-sided blade. Oh, in this case, he literally can wield it as if it's a normal sword. That's how freaking big he is. If you try to wield a normal sword, he would literally, like, probably not be able to use it. But he can also use nature and wind type magic. And some notes for the character, pretty basic notes that I'll probably add on as the story goes. But both he and Zero use the same sword style, but his style is singular while Zero's is combo. Now, to basically understand that, his style is single strike. Instead of trying to do multiple strikes at once, he literally just strikes you once and you're dead. Zero, on the other hand, has to do multiple strikes, basically because of the physical difference. Like, no matter what, Zero can't get the same exact amount of strength as Bear would. Not only because is Bear a completely different race, he's also much taller. and is able to build muscle mass a lot different than Zero can. Zero is strong, but Zero doesn't have the pure strength that, you know, Bear would be able to produce. Which is why their style is similar, but Zero's more basically combo. To make up for the lack in strength, Zero makes up for in speed. This is pretty much the basicness. And then he can also make anything into a perfect food dish. And another added benefit of Bear's style is can turn anything he wields into a sword. Literally, he can wield a ladle and kill you as if he was wielding a sword. That's how strong he is. Just get that through your head. So that's Bear. He's, you know, pretty basic, pretty basic detail. And then we have Alicia Sandestin. She's the hero. She is the heroine, the female protagonist, basically. She is 39 years old. She's quite young for a female Vulpin, considering they can, you know, a female Vulpin can be about 120 years, or about 300 years for a female Vulpin. So she's quite young indeed. And then her role in the story, heroine. She's the female protagonist. Her goal is kill the usurper. That'll be explained in the background. Her physical description: she's standing at 5 foot 2 inches, or 157 centimeters tall, with exceedingly long pink hair. For frame of reference, think Rapunzel from Tangled. She has that much hair. It's technically magic, don't worry. With 9 foxtails and dark sun-kissed skin and bluish purple eyes. So that is her physical description. It's pretty simple. Her personality: headstrong and unflinching when she sets her mind to something, but has a soft spot for those she trusts. She is a strategic planner, and at the same time a bit of a hothead, and also quick to temper as well. So she's basically a strategic planner, but you say something stupid and she's like, fuck you! You know, that kind of situation. You know, her occupation: she's the Empress of Sandestin. And her background, which took me a bit to kind of figure out to make sense, so you'll have to forgive me if this doesn't make any sense at all. So born into the royal family line of the Sandestin Empire, she was trained and taught from birth to become the next empress. After her mother passed away, she, at the age of 3, was appointed as empress. She began serving fully as empress at the age of 7, and was married at the age of 12 and conceived her first child at 13. She watched as 4 of her sons born. So she's had 4 children, and each of them were born as boys, and were murdered literally right after they were born. She didn't even get to hold them in their arms. I wanted this to make this fucked up, so they were killed immediately until her 5th child, that being a girl. Upon her daughter's 36th birthday, her daughter was crowned empress. 36th birthday. Her daughter was crowned empress and was her daughter was crowned empress. Her daughter was crowned empress. Wait, hold on. I know why. Her daughter then accused her of being a traitor, and an execution called for her head. She quickly fled, and with what few allies she had, and has been on the run for the last couple of years. So she's basically been running from her daughter, who literally wants her dead, because, you know, corruption, the usurper. Wink, wink. I know. I need to make that make more sense. Now her weapons / powers. While she wields no weapon, but is able to use all 72 forms of magic. Now for some notes. Notes. Is considered to be the strongest magic user in the world. Has an exceedingly high sex drive, but also a high degree of control, meaning she's horny all the time. She likes to eat sweets, mainly candy sponges, which in this world is basically cotton candy. She likes to eat cotton candy, but I just call it candy sponges because I thought it was funnier. She doesn't like to. She still acts like a noble all the time, and when alone, she acts like an unfiltered child. So you know, she's a bit of a child. She has to act. She has to act all noble, but when she's alone with people she trusts and not in the position where she needs to be, she just kind of, goes with it. So those are the main characters of currently the main characters of the group of the story. I'm gonna save it again just because. We're gonna add a new character, which we will name Hilda. Ow, my leg, hold on. Alright, so Hilda. Maidservant. Character name. Hilda, maidservant. Literally her last name is maidservant. I will tell you why. How old can goblins get? Under 200, so she's got a lot of time on her hands. So we'll put her at mid-age, so she's about 103 years old. What is the story about? We're still in the early stages of the story planning, so there's still a lot to go, but basically, killing gods. Fantasy killing gods and dragons and so forth. That's usually what the stories are about. That's kind of like what the general sense is for the story right now. I guess another example would be, think Game of Thrones with gods. I guess is the easiest way to describe it at this point. She is a female goblin. Roland's story. Servant. Maidservant. Goal. Serve the family. This is a description. This is where it gets confusing. Let me Google some. Okay. He stands at 4 feet or 122 centimeters. I'm pretty sure I made it goblins. Okay, so she's exactly 4 foot tall. She can't be any taller. With light, greenish skin. long red hair. Green eyes. And long floppy ears. Okay. His light greenish skin. Cannot spell words correctly today. Accompanied by waist length. If I can get these things correctly. Waist length. Red hair. Tied into a ponytail. He has emerald green eyes and big floppy ears with 3 piercings in each ear. There we go. That sounds better. She got some goblin jewelry going on in her ears. What other physical descriptions should she have? I mean, she's a goblin, so she can only be 4 foot tall. And the giant floppy ears, you know, most goblins are usually attributed to. At least the ones that I've seen. Anybody can think of anything else to add, let me know. I'd like to know what other people would like to see. So for the personality is going to be smart, level-headed, maid servant, that is almost always serious, and wears a gives off is almost always serious and chastises others to not make mistakes. Chastises others to stop goofing off. Even with her inner, she is quite easy to along with, as long as you do your stuff. Pretty simple. She's just down to earth, level headed, just kind of tired of people doing stuff. Maidservant. Occupation. Maidservant to the royal family. Literally why her last name is Maidservant. She's literally the maidservant to the royal family. Goblin born to a family of born into a family of noble. I cannot spell servants. She was trained from birth to serve members of the destined royal family. He served under I cannot spell. Served under Alicia's mother for most of her lifetime. Gained knowledge and secrets. So she became Alicia's servant. She took on the role of a mother figure. Teaching and readying Alicia for what was to come. Saved Alicia the day the new Empress called for Alicia's head and has traveling with her ever since. Pretty much she's just, you know, a royal maidservant who was part of the royal family's servants. Lived her life there and became Alicia's servant, and then, you know, left with her when she was about to be killed. Weapons. Wields a magic staff. Did I specify goblin type magic? Natively use earth and dark, but I didn't specify anything else, so. Use earth, dark, and conjuration magic. Alright, some notes on Hilda. What should some of the notes be, my friends? What should we note about Hilda? Hilda, our little goblin maidservant, who is apparently very badass for a goblin maidservant. But it wouldn't be right if she wasn't badass. She's a goblin. Wields earth, dark, and conjuration magic. She'll fuck you up 8 ways from Sunday. Alright, some notes on Hilda. Almost always has the same... No. And brew is a master at brewing coffee. Attained the rank of master magician while serving under Alicia's mother. So she's technically a master magician who can wield earth, dark, and conjuration magic. So she's pretty strong. We gotta make her competent. She's not a fighter, of course, but you know, she can cast a mean spell to murder your ass. If need be, she probably won't be able to cast it very well. But she does know some spells. Alright. Do a like two or three more notes on the character. She can use earth magic. We'll do this as well. Is able with earth magic, she is able to move carriages and other objects at no, because that would be earth magic. Let's give us something that's more her, something more Hilda, something that's, you know, that's her specific thing, something that only Hilda would have. We add nice jewelry. I can spell jewelry correctly. There we go. Mainly earrings. Nice jewelry, mainly earrings. You know, that's a simple one. And we'll do one more note to round off Hilda, because I can't really think of anything else to add to her. We want to think about what we're doing to add to her. We're trying to think of what we should do. Here's a note. She makes a master at brewing coffee. She's a master magician. She likes jewelry. What else should we add? What else? We should add one more detail. You know what? We'll make this a simple one. Hates sand. Yeah, she lives in an empire made of sand, which probably means.
At first you had my curiosity.
Aw, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hates sand. Even though she lives in the desert. So there we go. There is Hilda. She's pretty simple. Again, I'm trying to keep these as simple as possible so that when we really do get into writing the story, we can change them as we go. But I wanted to add some more terminology. As we do have some new things, not much.
At first you had my curiosity, but now you have my erection.
I don't know why my audio is doubled whenever anybody follows me. I think it's only follow notifications too, which is weird. Yeah, we're just getting like the core stuff right now today. Oh, I should go ahead and talk about the 72 gods. Now we'll save that for another time because I want to think on that one. Yeah, we're getting the core point of the story, the core means, the 9 different races, the 72 types of magic. You got twin announcer? And we got some of the characters. We got the main character, the sidekick / best friend, father figure. We've got the heroine. And we've got the, another member of the party. Of course, the characters, these are just the main characters that I'm going to be doing. We'll create some side characters that'll appear later on in the story, like, merchant, who's a what's it that does this and that, just basic things and, other things. But we should create for right now Sandestin. Royal capital of the Vulpin race. Centered middle of Great Desert. It spans a massive length. It is said that the sun always shines on the city and never sets, even when it's not it is said, it's not it is said. The city is constantly shined upon by the sun which it never sets. Literally the only place in the world where the sun never goes down, which is why everybody there always gets a tan. Capital itself, and the majority of the surrounding area is mainly filled with dense foliage and foliage and water, making it the perfect spot for the capital, since it was covered. Scorvered. There we go. Yeah, basically this is the reason why, you know, it's said this is the reason why the Vulpin people are all dark skinned, or, you know, the sun kissed skin, is because they're literally underneath the sun since birth. When, you know, that's just naturally how they're born. You know, because of the way the world is, they claim that the, you know, it's a pretty simple place. It's just the royal capital for the Sandestan Empire. Is technically the first big story city place. Even though it's centered in the desert, the capital itself is basically surrounded by forests and so forth, and tons of waterways that lead through it. Basically think of it like the Nile, except the Nile is even larger. It's even larger than that. It's like 30 Niles put together that circle the city and go through the city and everything else. So, you know, there's plenty of people, there's plenty of water, there's plenty of shade and so forth, but, you know, the city itself is the center of the desert, with the surrounding areas being different. You know, Zero and Bear, on the other hand, are currently in, you know, in the desert mountains. They're in the mountain range close to, you know, close to Sandestan, but they're not in the Sandestan territory. Orange is growing there, must be all times high. Pretty much, but the surrounding area literally is mainly forest. It's got tons of forest around it and inside the city, but, you know, outside of that area in the desert is basically just desert, dunes, desert, and then you just come across this giant massive place of livable nature that just somehow exists in this predetermined world. And again, the desert is fucking huge. Again, you got to remember that this world is the size of the sun in our world. So this city is massive. This city is basically, put it in perspective, this city is the size of Texas. For perspective, which I should probably actually do. Perspective. The city is the size of Texas. Will there be sandworms? Yeah, there's going to be all sorts of creatures. But again, you know, the world itself that they're on is massive and huge, which is why everything can be the way it is. Which is why there are 109 elder dragons, which are massive fucking dragons that live on the planet and can be perfectly fine where they're doing. And it makes sense. So yeah, Sandestin is literally the size of Texas. It is literally that large. With waterways and forests surrounding it and everything else. So just imagine the size of the actual desert region being basically all of America. So just imagine this Texas in the middle of America, and that's the desert around it. Is the easiest way to understand how the size of this, you know, the royal capital, along with the rest of the, you know, the surrounding area, with, you know, the giant mountain range where, you know, our heroes are stationed at, being quite a distance away. Is basically just think of that. Yeah, there'll be sandworms, there'll be llamas, camels, you know, other types of, you know, naturally occurring creatures. And of course, we'll come up with creatures ourselves and stuff, because I don't want to just be like, there's this creature, what is it? I don't know. Yeah, there are sandworms. You can also ride them. I'm thinking about. I don't know for sure if we'll make them rideable, but there will definitely be giant sandworms. You can't have a desert fantasy without giant death sandworms. It's just not the same. I don't know if there'll be acid spitting. That'd be a little weird. Just have acid spitting llamas in the desert. We might make acid spitting alpacas. But I don't know if the llamas will be acid spitting. Then again, we might make the llamas an enemy. Yeah, the camels and the alpacas will probably be normal. Yeah, so that's the Sandestin Empire. Literally a massive, sprawling city. More or less a country inside of a country inside of a country. That'll be the main backdrop for, yeah, for the majority of, not the majority, but for a good section of the story will be, you know, Sandestin, the desert city, where it literally sun never sets. Why did I set this? God. Okay, here's the thing about me. Personally, I hate the sun. I hate daytime in settings like the daytime, sunset, you know, noon. When the sun is always out, I don't like those settings because they're boring. They're always there. But you know, nighttime, rain, cloudy, all that type of stuff is cool because it adds more atmosphere to it than just the basic sun. So the fact that I have, by the way, I didn't even think of it when I did this, where it's like, yeah, the sun never sets. I never thought of that. I just like, you know what? The sun never sets. That's how it's going to be. That's the backdrop of our first part of the story. In a land where the sun literally never sets. Because that's how that world works. It gets darker, but it doesn't actually get fully dark. It's kind of like the eclipse, but you're still there. In a quarter of the day, the sun vanished. Ah. As we know, for the fact that our main character is part human, part dragon, so they're technically possibly able to be part greater dragon or elder dragon. We don't know. I know. You guys kind of probably already know where it's going, where they're probably going to be something special about them. And it technically is, but, you know, we got some pretty good stuff. Humans, the basic race, can only use one element, one type or element. They don't live very long. You know, they can breed the normal amount, but they can breed with anybody. They can literally fuck anybody. Panthera can only breed with themselves. Pretty self-explanatory. They're a beastman race, kind of like, you know, humanoid cats. But they are considerably strong. Physically, they are the strongest race, with centaurs being the only exception. Yeah, and they have different fur patterns. They can use wind and nature magic. They can only breed with themselves. They're the only race that actually can only breed with themselves, and I just now realized that. Every other race can breed with somebody else except for them. Hey, welcome, 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 welcome. I didn't know that about Greenland. I am doing pretty good. We didn't do much today. Well, we did do kind of a lot. Ow! I'm being hurt. Yeah, Panthera can only breed with themselves. Vulpin, you know, they can breed with humans and themselves and goblins. And I will grab some water. But you know, the fox-like race in my book, in this book, actually is kind of different because they didn't go over it. You know, they have the usual things, but the female Vulpin are the only ones that have tails in this universe. The male Vulpin are trained as soldiers, while female Vulpin are usually as royalty or treated as such. Basically, the Vulpins are a matriarchy, you know, while the centaurs are a patriarchy. You care about the streamer? That's always good. It's always good to care, make sure they're doing good. You know, female Vulpin commonly has only a single tail, while the Empress is said to always possess 9. Also, by the way, male Vulpin do not have tails. So a male Vulpin has the ears but no tail. Female Vulpin have the ears and tails. And only the Empress of the Vulpins can have 9 tails. Vulpin can learn any of the 72 types of magic themselves, but the Empress, the true Empress, is the only one able to use all 72 at once. Yeah, Vulpins can breed with humans and themselves, and elves and goblins. But are one of 2 races that can be pregnant multiple times at once, meaning she can literally be carrying a child and still get pregnant again. EKB? What do you mean? You gotta explain these things. I don't understand acronyms unless I know exactly what you're talking about. EKB. I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, they have normal. There's technically mammals, so they only have the 2. How's my day so far? They're pretty good. Yeah, they all have, like, any female presenting race in the story only has 2 sets of boobs. Let me rephrase that. Only has 2 boobs. God damn it. Meow 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 meow. Okay, fuck you guys. No, to answer your question, no, every female presenting race in the story only has 2 breasts. None of them have more than 2 nipples. Unless specifically stated otherwise. You're fine, you're fine. It's just whenever anybody does that, I'm always trying to explain something. Yeah, Vulpin can get pregnant multiple times at once, meaning, they can get pregnant with one child and still, get knocked up with another one while they're still pregnant with that one. It's just the way their bodies work. Similar to goblins. Goblins can do the same thing. You can knock a goblin up and then you can knock them up again. I mean, they could literally have like 8 different partners and you not even know it. Yeah, just remember that when you're trying to fuck a goblin. Of course, lycanthropes, humanoid wolves, fangs, ears, and tail. Transform from human to wolf form. And Lapin, humanoid bunny people. The less explanation, the better. You're in the wrong part of the woods for that, bucko. Oh, yeah, this is what I wanted. Yin. A human male that is a human that is born completely male, that is born completely male, but develops physically as a female. Their body type and mass and even bone structure are identical to a woman's. Along with all other physical they are basically a man in a woman's body. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's the simple runabout. A yin can never be taller than 5 feet. Don't ask me why. All yins are short people. They are short kings. They are short kings. 5 feet or 152 centimeters. Excuse me. That is a yin. They're basically born as a man, but their body, everything about them is basically female. And of course we have the yang. Similar to a yin, a yang is human that is born completely female, but develops. Why am I not able to spell physically correctly? As a man. A yang can never be shorter than 5 foot 5 inches. 5 foot 5 inches, or 165 centimeters. It is hard, especially when you're not trying to type correctly. Much like their counterpart, they are basically, they can never be shorter than 5 foot 5, so they're always taller than that. Similar to a yin, who can never literally be taller than 5 feet. So if you see a yin that's taller than 5 feet, they're a genetic anomaly. Of course, yin and yang are both freaking rare as hell, even in this universe. With dragon god reincarnations, this is still a sight to behold. Which is why Zero doesn't care if you call them him, her, he, she. It doesn't matter to him. Kind of the same with Yang. They don't care. Because you love them for who they are, not because of what they look like. It's the whole fucking purpose of this. You love them for who they are, not for what they look like. The whole reason why dragons can fuck whoever they want to fuck. If a dragon wants to get laid, they're getting laid one way or the other. But yeah. I don't know what else to add, because I don't want to do too much, because I do want to call it for in a little bit. We did a bunch. We added a new character. We added a new character. We got a bunch of terminology. We added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races. We added the royal capital for the setting, and we added 2 terms for the yin and yang, which is the special mutation of the human genome. Human mutation, basically. They're very rare. They're very uncommon. When you have a yin or a yang, when you give birth to a yin or a yang, it's seen as like an omen of sorts. Oh, we did a lot today. We did a lot today. We did a lot of stuff today. We did a lot of like theory crafting too. Oddly enough, with the elves and the dragons, lapping kind of a little bit, mainly only for, you know, how short-lived their lives are. Lycanthropes are pretty easy. They're just wolf people. You know, we have the elves with 3 different types of clans within: the light elves, dark elves, and nature elves. And then, you know, the centaurs, male and female, human centaur. And fuck a horse, you're gonna do it the right way. And then, of course, the dragons, which are literally a mythical race of beings that came from a distant land across the starry ocean. They literally traveled the stars and came to this world. They're classified 3 different types: lesser, great, or elder. Each one has differing sizes. Elder dragons are always usually freaking massive. Yeah, we made a lot of progress today in terms of like theory crafting for the story. We still have a long way to go before we get into the actual story writing, because I want to build up some scenarios and, you know, other ideas, because I want to take a note from another story writer, story builder. Do centaurs use wheelchairs? Technically, no. I mean, technically yes and technically no. Again, this world has magic, so they don't really use wheelchairs like we do. They use like other means to supplement injuries and stuff like that. Like 9 times out of 10, a broken leg can be mended by magic. I mean, you can't sew a leg back together technically, even with magic. So I mean, there's the limitations, but we'll get to that when we actually theory craft the limitations of certain types of magic. Yeah, technically they do use wheelchairs. Of course, again, the only ones that would be weird would be a male centaur, since they're the ones that literally, you know, have the horse bottom. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to it as we go. Like, I really right now just want to have focus on Sandestin, since it's the desert region. So it's kind of like Sandestin's kind of away from all the other regions in terms of it. Like we'll do next time we do this, we'll actually create a world map. Basically, we'll do some sort of janky world map building. Is what we're gonna do. So yeah, next time we do it, I'll get like a world map of sorts that we can fiddle with and try to create, and how we do it. Las Vegas of the other world. The Las Vegas of the other world. Technically true, because it is a capital in the middle of a, yeah, it is. We'll work on that. We'll work on it. I'll probably get like a blank world canvas thing I can do, and we'll just like doodle the shit out of it. We're like, bam, world. Yeah, we'll build like an actual world map, and we'll kind of fill it in as we go, and where this one is. This one's connected to here. This one's all the way over here. You know, that type of thing. But we'll get it. We'll get it. We'll build this. We'll build the world. We'll do it, because again, I'm really having fun with this. Because again, I'm not limiting myself to anything like, this seems fictional, fantasy, medieval type thing, you know, but there is technology in this world. There is, the easiest way to say this would be, it's like steampunk, cyberpunk. It has technology. It has the advancements needed to make it. It's got the magic. It's got everything in it. It has technology. It has, you know, computers. It has fireplaces. It has this type of stuff. But it's not in the way we see it as, like, you know, super futuristic. And it's not at the same time super old school steampunk either. It's kind of a mixture of the two. It's not modern world by any means. It's not modern day setting. It is a fantasy medieval setting with futuristicness. It's hard to explain exactly how it is, but it is definitely not old school with, you know, huts and so forth. It does have more modern take / futuristic take with a steampunk take to it. It's basically, think of it as cyberpunk steampunk. Basically, that's the easiest way I can make any sense of it, is think of it as a cyberpunk world with steampunk designs. If that makes any sense. It doesn't have to, but that's the general thought process. It's the cyberpunk world with steampunk as the main feature. It's hard to explain, it's hard to understand and visualize until I can actually get like a real thought going into it. But yeah, that's the main piece that I'm going for the designs and for the story itself. Well, it's not just that. It's hard to explain for my thought process for when I think of it. Because I think of it kind of like, the easiest example that I would have would be something akin to like Final Fantasy X, where, you know, they have some technology that it's like really advanced. Think of it kind of like Xanarkand in Titus's timeline for Final Fantasy X, but at the same time, not exactly like that. It's hard to explain exactly what I mean when I say like a steampunk cyberpunk design. It's kind of a cross between the two, and it'll work out. We'll get the setting worked out, because I just, my mind, hold on.
My mind is a wonderful place.
That. That is what I mean. Pretty much something like that. Like, you know, magic is used for a lot of supplements for everything. I guess the easiest example actually would be something kind of like Legend of Korra, where you see the firebenders and, you know, earthbenders and stuff like that doing jobs like that. You know, something similar to that with a steampunk, cyberpunk design style. It's kind of the general sense of what I mean. But there will be more to it. There will definitely be more to it than that. But yeah, that's the general idea of what I have going for the story. It's not anything massive or major right now. We're still working on the world. And building the world. We gotta build the freaking world. We gotta build the world. And I don't even know how to build. Yeah, again, this is still just very early planning stages for the story. It's nowhere near fleshed out yet. We've only got one major city. We don't even have the major settings, like, you know, the antagonist made, or we don't have any of that stuff yet. So we're still very early on in the creation. We'll do part 2 soonish. I don't know if we'll do it next week. I might do some stuff. I'm of course going to do some stuff offline, because if I get inspired, I want to make sure I do it immediately. Or at least write it down. But I had fun today. Theory crafting. Just kind of throwing my brain out there. Because again, that's the whole point of this, is to just have fun. And preferably not murder your friends in the process. Which I have not done. Just yet. Just yet. What are you doing today? Oh. Now, I hope you guys all had fun today. Kind of seeing my methods, kind of seeing my madness, kind of seeing how horny I am. On top of how normally horny I am, which doesn't seem like I'm very horny, but I really am. I really am. However, I need to cool down. I need to chill. And I need to prepare myself for tomorrow's stream in which we play Subnautica. And be very afraid of the ocean. Because I am terrified of the ocean. Especially that ocean. Which gives 0 fucks. Gives 0 fucks to all of us. So, yeah, we'll play Subnautica tomorrow. And then I'm gonna try my best to come up with some ideas. The girl with a huge log skit caught me off guard. I am so confused. Why do you confuse me, Sabaro? Why do you always seem to confuse me? Why is every word out of your mouth confusion on my ears? I'm kidding, you're fine. No, I'm glad you guys, I hope you all had fun. I know writing streams aren't as fun and entertaining as a lot of other stream ideas that some people do, but it's something that I want to do. And I enjoy it, and I can theory craft with you guys in chat. Or I could just theory craft in general. Because I can say it out loud and then be like, does that make sense to me? No, brain, it doesn't. But it did. But I thought it did. Yes, but you've spoken out loud now. And it doesn't sound good. Do something different. Alright, mind. You are right. English hard, very sorry, am not the Riddler. Only the Riddler would say he's not the Riddler. Do. But I hope you all had fun today. And again, I know these streams are very entertaining compared to me playing games and, you know, just chatting in general, but I had fun. And I hope you all did too. Because at the end of the day, if we had fun, if we had a laugh, and if we smiled, I think that's worth it. And I think that means I've done something good. So as I will sign off today, look forward to tomorrow. Because I am going to be scared. Very, very, very badly. Because I think I'm going to start over. Because I don't remember anything about the file I had currently going. And I wanted to start over so that we can try to get to the freaking ship and be very, very scared as we do it. Because, again, the ocean's scary. When I was younger, I didn't much mind the ocean. Now that I'm older and I've seen a bunch of horror movies, I am terrified of the ocean. But we're gonna find out when we get to it tomorrow. So until then, sleep well, enjoy your day, whatever it is between you and before it. I don't know. I don't know where you live. Thankfully. If I knew where you lived, that'd be weird and awkward. And I don't think either of us want that to happen. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for coming. Thank you for lurking, for chatting, for any follows that happened. I know a few of them did. I don't know if there was any others. And if there wasn't, that's fine. You don't have to follow. But you should, because I'm awesome. I'm kidding. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I am Setsuna Fox. And I am signing off because I have a little bit of a headache right now, I'm not lying. Probably from talking and work and at least a penguin. Probably a chipmunk. I'm not sure which. We'll find out tomorrow on Subnautica, which I'm not looking forward to. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Bye bye.